Hi guys, I've just got into a game with this guy who's not been playing chess for long. He's been playing a month and he's currently rated 800, so showing, I'd say that's actually pretty good. Showing a little bit of natural talent there after a month. So we're going to just get the bishop out. I've just disabled, the dots where it shows you where you can move the pieces. Let me know in the comments whether you like that or not, but it was creeping me out, so I turned it off. So, lesson for an 800 rated player, 800 versus 1800. I just got a message on chess.com, guys. I've not posted in a few days, and someone just messaged me like, "Where have you gone?" So I felt bad, so I had to come back. Alright, so do we take this bishop, or do we probably just develop, can't we? If he takes, we develop a piece, we're happy. So this is something you see a lot with beginners. They'll take here and allow you to develop more. Not understanding quite how important tempo is. Just that one extra tempo that this would be giving me. So let's see if he does that. No, he doesn't. That's a better move. Probably developing. Sort of pinning the knight to the queen. Can I play this though? This, here, he takes at the end. So what if I push the bishop? Takes, maybe damages my structure. So I'm going to take this off. And now he develops a piece. So far, he's playing pretty well. And now maybe just kick the bishop back. Notice in these structures, guys, I've got this very solid pyramid. Very hard for white to break down. He needs to maybe look for this sort of pawn break here in the center. Either taking and chipping away at my big center, or creating a clamp. But this is sometimes a bit overextended, I think. Or you could just play here and try and create your own connect four situation. So naturally I want to develop the bishop here, get closer to castling. But we can also look at the queen move. I don't know what that does, so let's just develop a piece. And now we're one piece developed on our side against their two. But we are black, so we're naturally going to be that one tempo behind. But yeah, Soul Devil playing very well so far. Big respect to this guy. Okay, I'm not sure what that does. Moving the same piece twice in an opening, you see it here, is normally bad. Unless it's for a specific purpose. Maybe this was an idea to get to this square. But I probably just kick the knight. But a backwards knight move, I'm not sure what that's doing. Maybe he's looking at this square, but I'm just going to castle. And now, in these structures, this is the big pawn break. So maybe we go knight here first to defend it. And now we're definitely going for this, because see, we're going to get the rook over and line up with their king. Hopefully create some long-term alignment issues along this C file. Okay, Soul Devil from India, but he's a Game of Thrones fan, bearing the Stark sigil. Is that a word? Sigil? You can tell I was a nerd growing up, guys, knowing that word. Let me know what sigil means in the comment. Is it a flag? Alright, so again, we're looking at this. We're looking at this move. I think we can go straight for this, because if he takes, we're just hitting the queen. Ooh. See if this... let's bring the rook. This is it. Because now if we take, he can't take with the pawn. He'd have to take with a knight. And it's starting to look a little scary for him. He needs to see an opposite side castle, and you can see I'm trying to make some progress with this pawn and this rook, but he is he's not really coming up with any counterplay as of yet. He's got to. He's got to. Otherwise, I'll just steamroll down the board. And yeah, so that's a great move, starting some sort of initiative against my king. So I could push, kick their queen. I noticed their queen wouldn't have many good squares in that case. Takes. Takes opens up the rook. It just seems natural, doesn't it? But I don't know. Maybe they improve a knight. So probably just an even position. To be fair to this guy, he's not letting up just yet. Let me just check his profile. I've lost quite a few games to like lower rated people that actually, I sort of underestimate him. Yeah, so he was 1331. But no, so he's just set up his account. He started out at 13, then he's gone down. So he's sort of, achieving his true rating now around 800. So this looks like a legit, it's a Blitz 400. So he is a legit 800. But playing good so far. There is this though now. See, that knight defended this pawn. So maybe if he'd taken with this knight, before, this knight could have stayed defended, take with the other knight. Because now I get to just take a pawn and hit his queen at the same time. Don't see why not. It's just sent a message. Oh no, oh no. It's just a pawn. Only a pawn. This is another thing people do at this level, like really stressing out about like just a pawn. Whereas you see higher rated players, they just instantly switch their mindset from like normal chess to gambit mode, and they start going mental at you. Start, sending pieces flying, maybe sacrificing more pawns to open up the position and try and attack. But weaker players, you'll often see just don't. They just keep playing on in a passive manner. You want to avoid that, guys. So this move, I'm not sure what the queen's doing there. The queen here looks a bit better. It's eyeing this, eyeing this. Queen on this square confuses me a little bit. Maybe he's preparing to move this pawn. So where's my attack come from? I want to play this and chip away at this pawn. If here he takes though. So this, it's a threat against this pawn. It also prepares this move. It also just connects my rooks and develops my queen. So, nice little multi-purpose move, I think. This knight is hanging though. Got to be careful with that piece. Just loose in the middle of the board. I always say loose pieces are a magnet for tactics, guys. Watch out. So I'm gonna guard this like he's my child. So look at that instantly. So this is what happens, guys. When you push pawns in front of your king, you can often provide little hooks for your opponent to latch onto. And here there is this sacrifice idea now. Check. Oh, that looks nasty, doesn't it? And this knight defends this pawn at the end. But I think I've got to go for it. That looks too good. Opens up his king. A general rule I'd follow, guys, is if you can sacrifice a piece for 2 pawns, don't do it unless you've got some checks after. And here also long term, it does give me like 2 gorgeous pawns here. It might just steamroll down the board. So if my attack does die out, my next plan will be to push this A pawn and just ask him the question, look, how are you going to stop me promoting? Bring a rook back here. That sort of plan. Okay, he's too scared to take the bishop. So now I am just 2 pawns up now. So this is a check. If here... I could just move the bishop back. I don't want to move it here because it blocks the rook. The rook very strong at the minute. I'm just going to move it back though. And maybe this now coming, as was my previous plan. That's a strong move, though. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if here, then I blocked my own pawn, and this is the key pawn that's going to crack into the structure, so... Here... What am I doing, really? I think maybe I just give away that pawn. If here and takes, I'm happy, but actually, if here and knight here, that looks a little uncomfortable. Maybe here to defend the pawn. But it would be attacked twice. So maybe here. I don't really love this move, though. There is some tactics, though, I'm just noticing. This pawn is pinned. So if this knight moves, this knight is undefended. Queen takes. So I'd love to see something like that. This move looks very natural, though. We're just hitting this pawn. Maybe he brings another rook. But this guy playing pretty good. I know I'm up 2 pawns, but it's not over. Like, he's got a bit of an attack coming. So let's see if he can defend this. Maybe just rook over is simplest. Or even push. Pushing, though, like, sometimes you are creating long-term weaknesses, but it looks pretty good. It gains tempo on my knight. Got to retreat. Okay, I didn't expect that move. What about this? Is that ridiculous? Pawn takes? Yeah, that's ridiculous. But this check doesn't work. This, not really working. What about just pushing this pawn in the center, kicking that strong knight out of the middle? Maybe if this, I can take. Although take with check, so I wouldn't be able to take this. So I've only got 2 minutes left. This is turned into an actual game, guys. This always happens against weaker players. I always try to be real instructive, and I just play too slow. All right. So maybe we get this out of danger first. Here. This is maybe coming. Actually, this looks so strong. Oh no. Right, here. Here. Bang. Mate. So maybe if pawn push, I actually have to go for... This is actually getting really tight. I actually have to go for counterplay here. Take. And, you know, he takes, I take with check. I think that should be better for me. I can't take this and open up my H file. It just looks horrible. Take and take. It's pretty much just lost, isn't it? So yeah, going after this knight, which is pinned. So maybe he, I don't know, how does he defend the knight? Maybe this. In which case I could play here. If he takes. Yeah, so this is a move now, and he has to take, and I take this. Do I take this now? If takes, I take, and if he takes, then I get this. It's pretty scary, this. Right. Oh, there it is. There's the tactic, though. Does that work? Take. And if queen takes, then I get this fork. My brain's working very slowly today, guys. Right. This, and I'm just double checking this. Got a really bad habit of losing to weaker players. And then we love this move, though. Quite a nice tactic, but I'm a bit ashamed because I had to find that. And otherwise, this game was still still a battle. So big respect to this Soul Devil. So now, I mean, we're still losing this. But he's not got an attack anymore. If here, do we throw in that in between move? It does kick his king all the way back, knight covering these two crucial squares. Do I just push? Or this first? If here... 1 minute 30 left here. And it opens up my... Well, I also get the open file though. Like I can slide the king over, bring the rook, try and exchange some pieces. Like that. This pawn is hanging though. It's a little bit awkward. But still, we're up quite a lot of material here, so... let's just try and... Let's first off defend the weakness, right? Let's just solidify it. And now that's a bad move because I can take... win in a winning position. I want to trade pieces. Also, I've isolated his pawns now. So now I'm just going to look to trade everything off with 1 minute on the clock. Getting a little bit tense. It should be all right. So he doesn't trade. So let's come here, and then maybe king can come here. King up. Maybe I come in with the other rook. Got to defend this first though. Here, and there's no check with this pawn. So he trades off, but that's good for me. I just get active with my rook, winning this pawn. And his rook is sort of out of the game. That's why when he played this move ages ago, guys, I was a bit like, I didn't expect that. He does win that though. Okay. Because it's a bit more passive on the edge of the board. That's why I say that. So now going after this. Maybe he's got this move, but it actually doesn't work because I just take and defend the pawn. Okay. So we've still got an endgame to play. Takes though, and now the rook just defends the base here. And we can hopefully push this guy. Like that. Okay. And now this should be pretty much pre-moves, but he has got this. Maybe he needs to move the king. Pawn currently pinned to the king. And my opponent is disconnected at a crucial moment. Right, here. Oh man, he keeps disconnecting. This is not fair. He needs this time. So yeah, just simple plan. So if here there is this, but then we push again, we can still push. And I think he's got to go like this behind the pawn. This, and then this whole structure holds itself together, I think. If here, we can't actually push this though. He takes my rook. So maybe we're going to have to push these pawns with the king. Oh, my opponent keeps disconnecting. So yeah, we could almost pre-move this. Here. He can't take it. So this pawn is just pushing, and he cannot stop both lots of pawns rolling down the board here. Slowly timing out. Well played, Soul Devil. We start pushing. Maybe this is coming. That. Let's just have a look at this. I don't think I played my best game there by any stretch. So let me know in the comments where I went wrong. So if this, king over here, king does get back to defend. Yeah, I just want to quickly analyze that. I feel like That was not the best. Analysis. Let's see what happened here. Evaluation. This isn't working. I'm on the wrong board. Let me know where I went wrong in the comments, guys. Hope you enjoyed 1800 versus 800, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.